Hey, hello and welcome. My name is Miss Tina and you are watching Squaziland, the occasional dose of my reviews, reactions and opinions. And today I'm going to react to the latest chapter of One Piece, chapter 1123. Welcome back. It has been such a long break once again. What can I say? We have such a heat wave here that, existing is still a chore to do, but we are here, right? So finally some One Piece, something interesting perhaps. I don't know what to expect from the chapter, since it might be the last chapter of Egghead Island, because the crew is kind of escaping. I assume it's going to wrap up a few things we haven't really dealt with in these past few chapters. Could be some more lore perhaps, we can't know for sure. But I'm really intrigued and interested, and if you are too, then please enjoy this video. Let's just start, okay? So, no break next week. It's always a good news. That's the news we want to start a chapter with. The Void Fortnight. Okay, there's a Void Fortnight too. I mean, there is a Void everything, so it makes sense. Okay, and we are back to Yamato. Oni-chan, Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 11. Enemies forced to share Oden. I mean, it's really a nice way that Oden is bringing people together. Going back to Oden, I wasn't really a big fan of his character, and still not am. But, I really like how Oden ties as a food and as a person ties people together. I think that's brilliant. Okie dokie. So, Egghead Island, respond. What's your status? And everybody's like knocked out from the humongous haki they just had. Oh my god. And even the Seraphim as Snake is like, wake up you guys, the Straw Hats are escaping. And everyone is done, the Vice Admirals and everybody really. I mean, they should be, because they are just Vice Admirals, and if Joy Boy's haki or whatever wouldn't have been enough to knock them down, then it would have been a bit worse, in my opinion, of course. Okay, and the giants are watching them. Okay, wow, all of them are down. Seriously, that's amazing. That was greater than Red has, but it didn't seem hostile, did it? And Luffy's laughing too. So the giant captains are speculating about the power of the haki, and now we got that it is greater than Shanks's, but it's not threatening at all. Okay, maybe Shanks's was threatening, It was greater than Red has, but it didn't seem hostile. You can interpret it in many ways, so obviously the official translation will have to clear a few things here. Thanks for everything, Iron Giant, and Luffy is waving goodbye, so to speak. And the Iron Giant is not moving anymore, and Luffy is still laughing. It's an interesting image. I wonder, the eyes are not shining, but Luffy is still happy. It's kind of a weird paradox I'm not really comfortable with, to be honest. I'm really interested in the backstory. Okay, alrighty, let's go while they are sleeping. We are getting out of here. So the giants are escaping. You heard the captains. Let's go, you bastards. And the ship, the huge ship, there is a beautiful panel. We are off to Abaf. Yeah. And the small chibi bunny is sleeping. And Zoro is like, and all the other characters, they seem to be happy, and of course Usopp is crying because he sees the captains, and Luffy is out in the cold again, and Nami's taking care of him, so to speak. Okay, Vegapunk, what you said earlier isn't sitting right with me, says Sanji. Was this all some sort of gotcha moment for you? So Sanji is speaking to Vegapunk's body. Hey now, I couldn't follow everything you were saying, but it was pretty outrageous, wasn't it? We can't see Vegapunk's eyes, so I don't know what will happen to his body. It's such a weird thing. Egg had 2 weeks prior. Okay, so this is the void fortnight they were talking about, or the title was talking about day. Okay, so there are some anomalous reading coming from the power station. You can say that again. Monitor for any fluctuations in particle density and neutron flux. I wish I could understand that, but I don't. Okay. Oh, Shaka, I will miss you. Shaka was a cool character and with a cool design too. The energy used by the Seraphim is meant to gradually increase over time. This could be a grave error if we miscalculated, says Shaka. Wait, aren't these numbers different from our earlier confirmed readings? Says Pythagoras, I assume. Yes, and the rate of reaction is increasing too. But the power station seems stable. This data seems to indicate that someone has tampered with the mother flame to steal its energy. Okay, so this is when they realized that something was up. Every single data point related to the power station has been carefully modified. To pull this off, the culprit has to be a Vegapunk? Was it Lilith? Okay, Vegapunk is really like that now. I'm afraid the three of us are the only ones with ironclad alibis. Really? Shaka knows his stuff. An insane amount of energy was stolen. So we have to observe the other four to determine who is responsible. Especially Lilith. I really like that Vegapunk is really... everyone would think of Lilith because Lilith is the evil one. We have to put our brains into offline staff mode too. That's right. If our memories of this get uploaded to punk records, then Lily, the culprit will know we are onto them. 1 week before the present. Attention, I have identified the culprit. It's Yoke. And both Vegapunk, the Stella, and the Shaka are really shocked. The memories she's been synchronizing with punk records are phony. I have also confirmed that the surveillance snares at the scene of the crime were tampered with too. Why would she do such a thing? And my bad, Lilith. Yeah. Okay, I have also found evidence that suggests someone deployed the weaponized CBs without authorization, says Shaka. A jamming white transporter snare was also found in our investigation, says Pythagoras. I know. We can reconstruct the call data directly from a long-distance transponder snare, says Vegapunk, so they know who they were talking to. Bzz, Dr. Vegapunk is researching the Void Sanctuary. Okay, so this is when they heard that what has been said there. And Shiren Marijoa? No wonder Cypherpunk keeps coming here to snoop around. Indeed. 6 days before the present. The kingdom of Lelucia has been erased. The details are still a bit foggy, but I have a bad feeling about this, says Vegapunk. The Stella. Pythagoras, observe any changes to the sea levels and monitor all wireless transmissions. Yes, sir. And Shaka is asking, do you think this has something to do with the theft of the Mother Flame? I'm sure of it. That portion of the flame must have been delivered to the government by one of the weaponized sea beasts. Okay, so this is how it went outside of the facility. If you permit me to indulge in pure conjecture, it seems plausible that the world government possesses one of the ancient weapons, and they must have needed the Mother Flame energy that York stole to fuel it. We'll see if the evidence supports my conclusion. Even if this deduction is sound, it's hard to speak it out loud. It's my fault after all. Only a fool lets their greed run amok and went and personified mine. And I went and personified mine, okay. Only a fool lets their greed run amok. Yeah. Is there any benefit of apprehending York now that we know? Okay, so sorry, I'm just trying to focus and concentrate. No, it's too late for that. York's motives are irrelevant now, and they will still come to erase anyone who knows about the Void Sanctuary. York already demonstrated her worth to them by rashly handing over the Mother Flame. The best we can do is that trust as an opportunity to determine their intent for the flame and try to mitigate the damage. Stella, we still have a chance to escape if you flee now. Prepare a boat for the other residents, Kreza. They still have a shot of escaping Egghead, but it will be impossible for us. The Navy will have issued secret orders to every branch and base by now. They'll chase us to the end of the world, and our inevitable deaths will be meaningless. At least, here on Egghead, we have something O'Hara didn't 22 years ago. We have the means and equipment to amplify our voices as far and as wide as possible. It's really good that we get this other side of the story, although it might be a little bit late, so I'm not sure if we really needed this, but okay. What exactly is the world government? The closer I get, the more shrouded it becomes. If I must die, I will sell my life dearly, says Vegapunk. Okay, I can understand that. And okay. I apologize for wrapping you two into all of this, and then don't be silly. We are Vegapunks, just like you. We are all thinking the same thing, and there's this resolution in both of them, or all three of them. Just one issue, Stella. What exactly constitutes death for someone like us? Good point. There is one other thing we must safeguard, our cloud love technology to manufacture artificial island clouds. It may be pivotal in saving humanity in the near future. Huh? Stella, what are you doing here? Oh, is that you, York? Okay, and they are meeting up by the Iron Giant. Same old, same old. If our experiments to optimize the mother flame allowed this thing to move again, it would be a breakthrough in creating our ideal energy source. Huh. That's right. It would be amazing if we achieved that soon. Right. I can only pray it never gets perfected, says Vegapunk. 2 days before the present. Go ahead and speak now. The recording has begun. Ahem. Mic check. Testing. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to the recording. Attention world. Hello there. This is Dr. Vegapunk, the world's greatest and most humble scientific genius. Okay. And we are going back to the Iron Giant. What we said will come as a big shock, right? Maybe, but everyone has a right to know the truth. No one will ever expect the transporter snail to be hidden here. My death will trigger the message to be sent out worldwide. We need to ensure that no one finds it till it's too late. Any abnormality in our behavior could be a tip-off that spoils our plans. Erasing our own memories is the safest bet. Okay, so they actually erase their memories of this. That said, there will be consequences. We will lose all memories related to this matter. The fact that York stole the mother flame, the fact that our lives are currently at stake. We will have to suffer through all those bombshells all over again. Indeed, says Shaka. The fear we feel for our lives will be brand new to us. But we have to put our countermeasures in place, even if things go sideways. Okay, so that kind of makes sense, and it explains a few perhaps plot holes people were thinking. It will be still our victory. Sort of. The Memory Mass Research Lab. What are we doing here? Okay. This is my handwriting. Good morning, everybody. You will find that you three have missing a fortnight's worth of memory that were wiped of your own volition. A number of things will probably come as a surprise because of this, which is ironically pretty amusing. Huh? I will tell you one thing, though. The world government has found out about our research into the Void Sanctuary. I have already taken the best precautions possible. You will just have to put your faith in me and I. Oh, and one last thing. They found out? Am I really telling myself I'm going to die? Okay. Stella, Emperor Straw Hat's crew and Bonnie have just made landfall. What? Cyberfall is approaching too. What? There is also a naval armada coming to blockade the island. What? Admiral Kizaru and the Elder Saint Saturn seem to be with them. What? I mean, we were like that too. After we rescue Bonnie from down there, I think it would be best if we stayed put. Huh? You'll die? Okay, Sanji is remembering that you will die. You don't need to help me escape anymore. I have thought about it, just let me die here. What? Do you have a death wish? Far from it, but I have come to believe that my death will set something important into motion. Okay, and Sanji's like, this is gonna be a big mess. We can't just sit there and watch you die. We've got to do something. One more thing. It's about the One Piece. What about it? I want you guys to be the ones who find it. Here is to reuniting with old friends. Cheers. Oh, that's such a sweet sentiment. And the giants are celebrating. Poor Luffy still in the shock state. Hold on, do this late, wait for me. And Usopp is really like, woohoo, we are off to the land of my dreams, Almaf. Yep. And this is the end of the chapter. Thinking 2 moves ahead. And end of the chapter, next chapter next week. Oh boy. Well, what can I say? I think I like this chapter. It's nothing perhaps that hasn't been concluded or hasn't been talked about, by other reactionists and people around the community. So it doesn't come as a shock. A few things, well, yes. So it's really hard to wrap my head around it. It's not going to be such a great huge chapter and so many big things, but last time and this last few chapters were all about that. Yes, One Piece can be attained, but maybe not those people will find it who really need to find it. And there were some things that Vegapunk couldn't say and nobody could hear it, so there might have been a message to Luffy and Co, but they didn't get to hear it. But that's a good thing, because Luffy doesn't like to do things when they are sort of planned or ordered, so it's actually good. But when we have seen the fractions who are going after One Piece, people kept saying that perhaps Buggy should find it, perhaps Blackbeard will find it, and then something bad is going to happen, and then we will have to fight Blackbeard and or the Marjoa or whatever. So there are many fractions, and even Kobe is like, I'm going to stop Luffy. I'm still not over that stuff. So Kobe is like, I don't know, I'm beginning not to like Kobe at this point, because why would you stop Luffy? Maybe it's because there is no reason given. Because there is no reason given why suddenly Kobe's like, you know what, Luffy, you can't find One Piece. You know what, you can't. Why? What is the reason? There is no reason behind it, and this irks me a bit, to be honest, because I just don't see why not. But Vegapunk wants us, or the Straw Hat Crew, to find it, so I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that they will find it. But that's the point of One Piece, that Luffy and Co find it. But till then, many things will happen. It seems like we are heading towards to Elbaf, but as I mentioned before, we haven't really touched upon Bonnie and Kuma. Maybe they will stay on Elbaf. I don't know. And what will happen to Lilith? And what will happen to many things? So actually, this was a conclusion, but not really a conclusion. I'm not sure what to think of this conclusion of this arc, and I can't say for 100% that this was the end of Egghead Island, although this seemed to be really a goodbye, a final goodbye chapter to Egghead Island. And I assume that we could say that the next chapter is either going to be the start of the Elbaf arc, or it's going to be somewhere in between. But I don't think that we need in between chapters, because most of the characters we have seen, we know where they are or what they are doing at the moment, sort of. So we don't need to necessarily see a dragon or a revolutionary army in general, or the navy, or a Vivi and co. So we don't necessarily have to see them right now after this arc, because this arc was actually one of the best arcs in post-time skip One Piece, because I think it really united everything we love about One Piece. It wasn't too long. That's an important thing, that sometimes us can feel too much, but this was just right and just perfect. And wow, it seems like we are finished with Egghead Island. We can't say that for sure, so we have to wait for next week, but I really like where we are going. Thank you very much for joining me this week too. If you have questions, you know where to ask them. If you like the video, please like it, and thank you very much for your views and your views and your attention. Thank you, really. See you next time. Bye bye.